Rhythm is key to speed and underwater kicking. And if swimmers don't have rhythm, we have to find a way to help them develop it. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. And in this video, we're going to discuss a strategy to help swimmers develop better underwater kicking rhythm. And that strategy is one-leg dolphin kick. We're going to take a look at why rhythm is so important. We'll take a look at why it's so difficult to improve. We'll take a look at how to improve it. And then we'll take a look at how to implement it into practice. Let's dive in. When it comes to creating speed underwater, rhythm matters. Kicking fast underwater isn't just about kicking. It's actually a full body movement that goes from head to toe. And the reason undulation works is because it allows swimmers to create more propulsion with less drag. They can get a bigger surface area facing backwards with the legs. They can use the body to create more force than just the thighs. And they can do so with minimal disruption of alignment, which is going to allow them to swim faster with less effort. But for that to happen, swimmers have to have good rhythm, and the right thing has to happen at the right time with everything flowing from head to toe without any loss of connection. So if we watch this swimmer here, you can see there's a lot of rhythm to how she's kicking. There's a lot of flow to how she's kicking. And specifically, if we watch right here, you can see how she's able to create a huge surface area that's facing backwards, almost her entire shin and certainly her whole foot. And then she's able to throw that water backwards. And then by undulating and recovering with a straight leg, she's able to get back into position without just bending the legs and causing a ton of resistance. And so by undulating, she's able to get a better surface area and she's able to recover the legs with less drag. And so that's going to mean really effective swimming. The other issue is you can see that the wave travels all the way down her body, and that means there's going to be more foot speed at the end, which means there's going to be more force, which means there's going to be more propulsion. And so by allowing that wave to travel down, she's able to get more out of each kick. The undulation also allows her to put her legs in a position which can create more propulsion because there's a bigger surface area, and she can recover the legs more efficiently and more streamlined by using the undulation. Now, if things aren't happening at the right time, it's just going to be a disconnected mess, and the limbs aren't going to be in the right position when they need to be. She's not going to be able to get as much surface area. She's not going to get that wave of force going through her body, and she's going to create more resistance when she recovers the legs. And so it's not just undulation, it's the timing of it and the rhythm of it that's ultimately really important. So why is improving underwater kicking rhythm so difficult? First of all, rhythm in general, in any stroke and in pretty much any skilled movement, is difficult to teach. There's no perfect movement. There's no perfect rhythm for every athlete because every athlete's a little bit different. And there's no single movement that you can point to that swimmers have to do. It's a lot easier to tell a swimmer to bend their elbow to 90 degrees than it is to tell them to make sure that all the different parts of their body are organized in a well-synchronized manner. That doesn't necessarily translate to anything swimmers can work with. So there's a communication issue that makes this challenging. And again, it's not a specific movement that they have to perform. They have to master the relationship between different movements, and that's what ultimately matters. There needs to be precision, there needs to be subtlety, and that's really difficult to communicate with words. Another challenge is that swimmers tend to think that they need to kick, and so the focus is on what they're doing with their legs, what they're doing with their knees, what they're doing with their feet, when really the entire action needs to start further up the chain and it needs to be connected further up the chain. And if it's not, then it's never going to work because it just becomes a purely leg-dominated movement. And as we just saw, it's a full body movement that needs to be timed really well to be optimally effective. One of my favorite ways to help swimmers learn this skill is with one-leg dolphin kick. The reason it's valuable is if they don't have great timing, there's not a solid rhythm, they simply won't go anywhere. So if swimmers just move at the knee and they move the foot back and forth, they're not going to go anywhere. They have to have a solid wave from head to toe in order to get the most out of each kick and in order to make forward progress. You can have swimmers do it with their arms in streamline. You can have them do it with a kickboard. You can have them do it with their head up or head down. It doesn't really matter. They're all effective. What's really important is that it puts swimmers in a position where they have to use good rhythm, good timing, or they won't go anywhere. What's particularly powerful is that there's immediate feedback. If there's progress, that gives them feedback. If there's no progress, that gives them feedback. If there's slow progress, that also gives them feedback. And so in this situation, they can't use a knee dominant kick. It's not going to work. And so they have to figure out a new way to move through the water. And that new way of moving through the water is going to involve effective undulation, which is what we're really looking for. They have to learn to control and manage their undulation. And at first, it's probably going to feel like they're just shaking and moving all over the place. But that's a good thing because that means they can learn and they can improve. And over time with practice, things start to smooth out, they start to relax a little bit, and they start to get the timing right, able to create more speed with less effort. And so again, I mentioned before, you want to use different variations. They all have a little bit different feel. That's going to help them expand their skill set, and it's also going to prevent them from getting bored and keep them better engaged. So how do you make a good drill even more effective? In this case, you want to add speed. Have them build, have them descend, have them sprint. Underwater kicking is a skill that's performed fast, and so swimmers have to learn how to create speed and time everything at high speeds. And by measuring speed, it's also going to give them feedback as to how effective they're kicking. If it starts out and it takes them 20 seconds to get across the pool, and now they're down to 16 seconds or whatever it is, they've made significant progress. You can also use different kicking rates. You can have them go really slow, you can have them go really fast, and figure out how to make it flow and time it well at a bunch of different rates. You can kick against resistance. It's going to give them a better feel of what they're doing with the feet. Same thing with drag socks. You can have them use fins. It's probably going to make it a little bit easier, and they're going to be able to feel a little bit more speed. So if they're struggling, that's a good option. And then you can add fatigue. Once they get the hang of it, start challenging them a little bit, get them a little bit tired, and that's going to further increase their learning. Most importantly, you can combine these different strategies to create novel challenges to really push their learning forward and also train their ability to maintain these skills under pressure. And of course, mix it up with underwater kicking so that they can practice applying these skills when it really matters, which is underwater. Here are 2 underwater kicking sets designed to improve rhythm with one-leg dolphin kick. So the first set is more of a speed change set to help swimmers learn to manage their speed. So 3 rounds through, they're going to go 650s, one-leg kick, 25 left, 25 right, and streamline with a kickboard. They're going to descend 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and they're just trying to get a little bit faster as they go. It's not about going extremely fast on the end. It's just about learning to control their speed and controlling their kicking in order to create speed. Same thing with the 625s. They're done, again, one-leg dolphin kick and streamline with a kickboard. They're going to alternate 25 left, 25 right, and they're going to build the strong. And then each round, they're going to try to get faster, work down to faster speeds. The purpose here is just to help them learn how to control what they're doing and modulate what they're doing in order to create speed. Second set, they're going to go 2 rounds through, and there's 3 segments of 4 12.5s, fast one-leg kick and streamline. The first 4 are with a parachute, next 4 with drag socks, last 4 are no resistance, and they are all fast. And so swimmers are practicing, executing, and maintaining an excellent rhythm and excellent timing at higher speeds, both with resistance and without. And so that's going to challenge them to really execute these skills at a really high level and do so really quickly. So just a starting point in terms of implementing this strategy, there are an infinite number of ways you can implement this skill. The more swimmers do it, the more rhythm they're going to have to their kicks, and you'll see the swimmers that really struggle with this drill are the ones that are really ineffective underwater, and as they improve, they start to get a lot better underwater. Hope that was helpful, and as always, keep it simple.